Then I'm going live on Instagram, but it takes a few seconds. These are the words to the song, and trying to go live on Instagram. Hang on. Oh, there we go. All right. Woo. All right. Why? Welcome to Crossing the Streams. Yes. Where we answer the universal question, what should I binge watch now? I just finished something and now I got to watch something else. We have come to the right place because we have over 1,000 hours of binge watching experience between the four of us, and we're ready to bring that expertise right to you. We have regulars Mick and Zack, but I would like to focus on my returning guest and friend, Christine Blackburn. It's been a while, but
hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you, Jeff. Always.
Yeah, it's so good to have you back on the show. Hey, remind everyone about your awesome podcasts.
Well, I have a show called Storyworthy that I've been doing for almost 15 years, if you can believe that. And then I also have another show called My Life in 3 Songs, which is exclusively on Spotify because I talk to comedians about the 3 songs in their life that have impacted them. And we listen to the song. That's why it's on Spotify, because I don't steal music. Do you steal music, Jeff?
I don't steal music except for maybe technically my ringtone.
Ah, interesting. Well, it's funny because some people will go all out and use other people's music. They'll take the whole flipping show down and then you lose, everything. So I never wanted to do that. But anyway, check those out. And also ChristineBlackburn.com. I'm a comedian and I'm out here in Los Angeles. And I have about 2-3 gigs a week. So
well, tell them about your game show that you do.
Oh, I also have a game show called Story Smash, the storytelling game show. I book comedians to come on the stage and spin a wheel. Whatever they land on, they have to tell a true 1 or 2 minute story based on that topic. So it might be like vacation, drunk tank, pandemic, ghost stories. And after their story, our expert panel of judges critiques the story. And that's the funny right there. So I always say, come for the stories, stay for the criticism.
That's
that's going really strong. We play every other month here in LA, and we just had a show Saturday night. It's always packed. It's super fun. Story Smash, the storytelling game show.
One day I want to be out there and be able to watch one of those.
To be. Oh, I'd love you to be on it. You'd be a
Oh, plot twist. All right. That would be amazing. We have so much fun today. Real quick. Did you guys see this? You guys see this?
Crypto. Love crypto.
Are you guys excited for the James Gunn stuff? I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I love James Gunn. I think he does good movies, but I don't know if I'm ready for the 18th Superman movie.
Although I'll give it to him, he's taking his time, giving it a little bit of a break.
I mean, that guy does not really miss often. So anything that he puts out, whether it's a superhero thing or any like even low budget thing, I'll watch something James Gunn put together. I like his vision.
That is all right. So Jerry's here. What's up, Jerry? Oh, Christine needs.
Wait, what did he say?
Christine needs a hat and some facial hair. Just because.
I see. Gotcha. Yeah, I see. There we go. I gotcha.
You can tell the successful one of us four doesn't need to have the facial hair.
That's right.
Mix edibles kicking in. That's funny.
He's got to stretch his shoulder out. He's got.
No, I'm not allowed to take him anymore before Jeff's show.
I never said that. I assumed you and Christine were going to show.
Yeah.
Christine showed up with Brussels sprouts, so it's like, all right. So we got a lot to kind of talk about. Last week we talked about Chimp Crazy, which is about chimps. We talked about Evil, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and the TV series Interview with the Vampire. And then today we're going to talk about Monsters, Bad Monkey, Saturday Night, and is it Caddo or
Caddo?
Caddo Lake.
That was fun. I like that. Oh, sorry, that wasn't my turn.
No. This is you can jump in anytime you want.
That was fun though. That was the it was a M. Night Shyamalan, I believe.
Mhm.
Right.
Ooh.
He produced it.
Ooh. All right. Let's kick things off though with the movie that everyone's talking about, Saturday Night.
Now I can take my edible. All right. So I get to talk about Saturday Night. I love Saturday Night Live, and I love just like all the behind the scenes learning about it and stuff. So when I heard they were making the book into a movie, I was really excited to just kind of check that out. And I really like this movie. I thought they did a really good job. All of the actors just really encapsulated the characters they're playing. What was it? Gabriel LaBelle, who played Lorne Michaels, and Rachel Sennett, who played Rosie Schuster. I wanted to give them like special mention. And Lamar Morris playing Garrett Morris. Mm-hmm. These three really shine. They take their characters to a level where it doesn't feel like a caricature. Everybody else does feel like they're kind of playing the caricature that we understand all those people to be. It didn't really feel too genuine, except for with these three characters. And it makes sense because they are the three main in the story. So, but they did just a wonderful job. When I learned that Jean-Baptiste was helping with the music and curating the music, and they were doing it live on set, just recording it as they were going.
Oh wow.
And that amazed me. I mean, just to be able to do that and kind of play everything out. Oh, Nicholas Braun, special mention to him for playing Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson in this movie.
Cool.
He was fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It plays up the tension a little too much, whereas I would have liked to have seen maybe some more genuine interactions rather than these tense moments, because it's like, I get it, it's supposed to be a tense 90 minutes before, but we do know what happened. We're celebrating the 50th year. I would have rather more interactions kind of trying to build that tension than just like the time stuff and like cutting the way they cut it. So overall though, great movie. Go check it out.
Who plays Carlin?
It's Matthew Rhys. He was the one that played I think he played the new Perry Mason.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I have this episode, the pilot episode, in my basement on VHS.
What I want to do is when it comes out, because I saw it in theaters, but I want to see when it comes out streaming. I want to watch it with my wife and watch that, and then watch the first episode immediately after. Just kind of see it back to back, see how it plays out.
Question.
Yes.
Jeff, what's on VHS?
It's a medium that we used to use in the 70s and 80s. And
Man, you're old.
It was a collector's thing. So I was I was really into collecting VHS at one point in my life. I have way too many in my basement, so I don't even have a VHS player anymore. Maybe I do in the basement somewhere, but it's I guess it opens like with it's like a 7-minute Carlin monologue.
Really?
He was the first host of Saturday Night Live, and so actually Rhonda Handsome was on my show, and she was one of the people that handled one of the Muppets during the first episode of Saturday Night. Really? And why did it talk about why it's not called? It's not called Saturday Night Live.
No.
They weren't allowed to call it that.
They even play it for a tongue-in-cheek joke where they're like, he's like, I'm the producer of Saturday Night. He's like, the whole night? Like, so they play it up pretty well. They do the Carson bits well and play that story about how Carson had all control and they were giving him a chance so he could fail. And it was just this whole like money grab thing. And I love that 50 years later, it's still here. It's still very much an important piece of pop culture.
Well, it keeps finding a new generation. And so that's how it keeps moving on. Like my kid is totally into it and they're 17.
I feel like it's been hit or miss lately, but I will say that the Ariana Grande episode this past Saturday is bonkers good. Like,
oh, really?
Like Ariana Grande is a gift. And I tell you who else is a gift is Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
He did
Bargatze,
Bargatze. He did it the second time the week before. Amazing. That guy's delivery, it was like he was born to be on Saturday Night Live, just like how John Mulaney, like how they keep bringing him back. I'm guaranteed they're going to keep bringing Nate back. It's but Ariana Grande with her impressions. I mean, she was doing Jennifer Coolidge,
Yeah.
and she was doing it against the one girl what's her name, and Dana Carvey, and she outperformed both of them with her impression. I mean, it was like there was some skit. There were skits that they did. If you haven't seen the episode, it is worth a full watch.
Oh, I will. Good.
Same thing with the Nate one the week before. The ones earlier in this, but those two, unbelievable. Like Ariana Grande is, Ariana Grande started as like she was in kind of a variety show. That's where she got her start.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
the kids one, right?
Yeah, she's in that whole what was that documentary? Nickelodeon behind the scenes thing. Yeah.
Quite on her set.
She's not in it, but there's clips of her in it. The things that they made her say were just ridiculous to make. But yeah, Howard Cosell had a show called Saturday Night Live, so that's why they couldn't. Saturday. Yeah, it's. But
Michael Keaton's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, is it the first time? Is it his first time hosting?
I think
doubt it. Really?
Oh no. He did. He was on. I think not during Lorne Michaels' years. I think he was on during those 5 years when Lorne Michaels was off.
Did he change his name back officially yet?
I heard he was. I don't know. He might talk about it on SNL this weekend.
Oh, he wants to be John Cougar Mellencamp.
No, his real name is Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, like Michael. I think Michael J. Fox. That's not his real name either. He had to throw in the J or something. They have all these weird rules. You can't have.
Michael Keaton's from Pittsburgh, where I'm from. Not to brag. And one time I saw him in an elevator in downtown Pittsburgh. And when he walked onto the elevator, my first thing was, that's Batman. Because it was just when he had done it. And nice. Seems like a nice guy.
That's awesome.
And when he walked off, you're like, oh, that was Beetlejuice.
Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to mention. Did I mention on the show that I saw Beetlejuice? You guys are way too kind. I will say that
Mick liked it too much, and I couldn't be that mean about it.
I didn't like it that much.
I don't know.
I will say I watched it and didn't hate myself at the end of it, but it did feel like 5 ideas that just went nowhere. Like each one of those ideas could have been the movie, and the most interesting character, the Dolores, the one with all the staples on her face. I mean, you could have removed that completely from the thing. And I could see what you said about William Dafoe's character, though I did find him very humorous. Yeah. But you could have just removed it completely from the whole thing. And it was just like, you could have removed like half that movie and it wouldn't have even impacted. Nothing made sense. Everything was its own thing. And then they just kind of put it together at the end and then said, okay, that's the movie. It's like, and nothing really, there was nothing. It was nothing.
They had a deadline.
Deadline. They've been
25 years.
20 years. Yeah. I don't even get it. It was just like, I'm like, but I didn't hate myself watching it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't.
I enjoyed after I was done watching it, I was like, I enjoyed the fact that I watched that. You can pick it apart as a movie, but as just entertainment, it was fun to watch.
It's like Poltergeist 2.
I was entertained. But I only laughed one time. Like everyone kept saying Catherine O'Hara stole the show. The only time I laughed, and she's the one that made me laugh, was at the very end. Like literally the very end, when the one guy, he's half missing because of the shark, right? Ate him. Yeah. And she goes, oh, look what happened to me. And she's got, because she's got just a little rash right here. And like she wanted all the attention. He's missing his entire torso.
I love that.
That made me laugh out loud. But other than that, I'm like, I didn't like everything. Just, I don't know. Anyway.
Jerry is chiming in and he says that they never explained why his head wasn't shrunk still.
Whose head? Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Can you explain it?
Oh yeah.
Here's what happened, Jerry. There's a lot of stories going on at once, and maybe a little cocaine, and now we got what we got.
That's right. Jerry brings up Lonely Island came back 2 weeks ago. They did
Yeah.
a digital short.
The sushi
Sushi glory hole.
glory hole.
Now, so let's talk let's finish up Saturday Night Live and then we'll go on. But like,
That's all I got.
think, what's her name? Why am I blanking? Who plays Kamala?
Oh,
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She. I mean, if you close your eyes, you're listening to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She's dead on, and I get them bringing her back. I do, but it's like I feel like Saturday Night Live doesn't move forward. And like we're not getting like the new group of like amazing people because they keep bringing back people.
Well,
Like,
but why not? If they make people laugh and they have a fan base, I mean, of course they're going to keep the same people, and then they will turn as we see them, But it just depends on how talented the people are. I mean,
but these are generally the roles that people popped from, right?
I think those Please Don't Destroy boys. I think they're very funny. I think
Are they even on the show? I don't even know if they're on the show.
They haven't even been on the show though.
Really?
Yeah,
they haven't been
kind
on
of
the whole season.
disappeared.
Oh, I started watching last season because I like this season so much. I was like, let me check out last season to see if it was good. And I've been watching like their skits, which is good. But I like Bowen Yang. He's worth it.
Yeah, he's great.
He's funny. So, all right, let's go on to another show. What if we talked about? Oh, I like this one. Monsters. The Lyle and Eric Menendez story. They are in the news again.
I know. It's so exciting. It's an easy watch, that's for sure. And it's very entertaining. I don't know how factual it is, but it's definitely entertaining. The first couple of episodes seem a little bit made for TV-ish, Well, I mean, it is made for Netflix, but, it just seems a little shallow. But then Javier Bardem comes in and it's over, man. I mean, that guy is a powerhouse and he is portrayed as an absolute, horrible person. It's very effective. And Chloe Sevignon, how do you say it? Not Sevignon, but Chloe Sevigny. She plays Kitty Menendez, the mother. And she's, of course, a brilliant actress. And both of those actors were very good as well. So the acting is great. The pictures are all very beautiful. I mean, in the film, in terms of it's Los Angeles and it's sunny and it's bright and it's, a lot of people don't think it's right that they didn't focus on the boys' childhood, when they were really young. Because let's not forget, when they committed these murders, they were not children, ladies and gentlemen. They were 18 and 21. So let's just say at those ages, the 21-year-old was already out of the house and in college. And the 18-year-old, well, he had a number of options, like punch your father in the face next time he comes in the door, or move, or tell the police. But they didn't choose those things. They chose very methodically, to buy these guns. They went to a couple of different places. I mean, they found the guns they wanted. They chose the night. They went to the theater to get tickets, for an alibi. I mean, these kids really thought it out. So anyway, they don't go into the childhood of, like, say 10 and under, when they say they were so abused and that they were still abused, or at least the one of them was. But again, at this point, they're 18 and 21. So it's a little bit hard to have empathy. I mean, I know now a lot of people are going back and saying, oh, but, it'd be different if they were tried now. But I don't know, because they are not children. They weren't 15 and 18, they weren't 14 and 17. They were men. Anyway, nonetheless, the series is very good. When they do show the murders, it is brutal. And they cut back a couple times to it. It's, they blow the father's head off. You know what I mean? Like, it's brutal. And at one point, they both go back out to the car and they have the trunk open. And the older one, Lyle, literally empties the shotgun, opens the shotgun, whoosh, puts another shell in, a couple of shells, whoosh, and walks back in and blows his mother away. That's a 2-minute period of time that he had to think about that. I'm just saying, I can see both sides of the story, but I tend, as a parent, I would like to think that I won't be murdered while I eat ice cream and watch TV. I would like to think I wouldn't be.
It's an extreme reaction.
That's the way to go, though.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone on Instagram watching us, by the way. Comment. Let us know if you've watched Monsters and what you think. My wife watched Monsters. I kind of came in and out. I did see the scene where they murdered their parents, and it is brutal. I will say my wife then subsequently watched the Menendez documentary, also on Netflix. Just came out, and a lot of the beats she said were matched the movie. Yeah, not that some of it couldn't have been, but like that happened. Like he went back, he reloaded, he goes back.
And it's also about the period of time our country was in. OJ had just been acquitted. So people were pissed off about that. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they say, if you ever read Malcolm Gladwell, he could tell you whether you're going to be successful or not by the year you were born and the place you were born. Because a lot of times it depends on the timing. And this falls directly into play with the Menendez boys, because they were, in fact, people were pissed, and the DA needed this conviction, so they got the heaviest sentence they could have.
Speaking of which, I believe they're reopening the case or re-looking at the case.
They want them to. They want them to, but it doesn't mean they will.
Oh, I thought they were going to. So
no, they want them to. Today there was a thing down in LA. I'm pointing out the window. There was about
I believe it's that way.
30 of their family members today in front of the courthouse, demanding them look at the evidence again. And, look, they've already been in prison almost 35 years. That's a pretty big punishment. So, if they get released, I don't think they would be necessarily any more trouble in their lives. However, I don't know what kind of message that sends to people who want to blow their parents away. When they could walk away, when they could leave.
Right. The message of, hey, you got 35 years.
Yeah. I just imagine
that'd be a deterrent
imagine them immediately reloading and then heading to the cemetery.
I didn't see this show, and I didn't see the documentary. The only thing I know about the Menendez brothers is Ben Stiller from The Cable Guy. And in that movie, they didn't hook up or bang, but I think that they do in the show. Is that true? Do their brothers mess around
together?
Yeah. Is that
I
wrong?
don't think so. No, I don't think that's true. They did show a lot of gratuitous nakedness of the boys in the show. I don't know why they did that.
Even the poster, it's like
I know.
It's pretty spicy.
That's what I thought too. I thought, why are they naked in the poster? So there is a lot of sensationalism going on. I mean, look, Ryan Murphy, who created it, also did American Horror Story. You know what I mean? So he's big on sensationalism. The series called Monsters is actually not just about the Menendez boys. The previous series was about Dahmer, and now the Menendez. And so they're moving on, meaning that monsters are monsters that that became monsters. They weren't born monsters. They became monsters. And so that's the sentiment behind Ryan Murphy's idea, I read.
Interesting.
He likes lusty trauma.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, fair. I mean, Dynasty.
I tried to watch the Swans thing that he did. Like, I started to watch it, and then
the Truman Capote thing.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. I didn't see them all, but I saw like 3 or 4 of them. It's actually done pretty well.
I find Ryan Murphy's stuff has a great start and then kind of falls off the cliff. Like American Horror Stories later seasons, it'd be like amazing, and then be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, but that you could say that about Walking Dead. I mean, you could
Glee.
do that about lots.
Well,
of
I
things.
mean, but I think if you only have 8 episodes, you should be able to pull off 8 episodes of this.
You heard what I said, Dwoskin.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Jeffrey?
You compared 8 episodes to 90 episodes of The Walking Dead.
By the way, there's 9. There's 9. Yeah, right. And the board game and the dolls, the action dolls. There are 9 episodes of Monsters, just so the audience out there knows.
That's a
Action
lot of
dolls.
episodes.
Jerry did nail it though. Your sound effects are spot on. The sound of someone being whipped with a shotgun is intriguing to me.
Thank
That
you.
was I like that a lot. Whoosh, whoosh,
Sounds right on.
Nah, I love it. Jeff doesn't do anywhere near enough sound effects.
See, that's
Yeah,
the
Jeff,
thing.
you put applause on yours.
I did no, that's what came with.
You get 6 free buttons.
And Jerry also wrote, aren't they up for parole again? No, they're in prison, life imprisonment, no possibility of parole. But like we were talking about today, there is a protest going on to try to get them to look at the case again.
Look at the case again.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That ain't right. I'm gonna have to pop another 0% Peroni because I'm over here
nice.
partying like
Oh,
a
is that-
Wednesday night.
Is that by Tom Holland? Did Tom Holland make that?
No, who's Tom Holland?
It's a little Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He makes he makes a non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, is that right? Nice. No, but I enjoy it. I'll say that. Okay, move
Ray
on,
doesn't
Jeff.
drink 'cause
All right, let's
it's-
move on. I'd like to talk about Bad Monkey.
Yeah.
Did you guys who saw Bad Monkey?
Love the
Just-
show.
Just Mick? Okay.
I want to see it because I love Vince Vaughn.
So
He is top form.
top
Really?
one.
Really?
I-
Oh, good.
He's
I-
the best he's been. I'm telling you.
Great. Awesome.
Watch the show. This is top form, sharp tongued Vince Vaughn. Perfect.
Wow.
Yes, I agree. It's his sarcastic, rapid-fire dialogue is on point. Let me say that Bad Monkey. I don't know how I would have heard about this, but I randomly was on TikTok and someone's like, "Oh, there's this new show with Vince Vaughn on Apple. It's called Bad Monkey." So I'm like, "Hey, we should check this out." And turns out everyone's watching it, but I feel like if I hadn't seen it, a lot of these shows kind of slip under the radar. You know, like.
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
just started watching Slow Horses, and some people are like, "What?" You know what I mean? And it's like probably one of the best shows ever. I love
What's
it. Anyway,
Slow Horses?
it's on Apple Plus as well.
I don't know it.
So you got to check it out. And so we'll talk about it next time though. So it's like what's his name from what's the main guy's name? I can't remember his name.
Tony
because
Soprano.
Jeff
Yes,
Bridges.
Tony Soprano is the guy. No. So, well, anyway, Bad Monkey. It's based on a book by Carl Hassan, also called Bad Monkey. This movie is not about monkeys. Or the show is not
TV
about
show.
monkeys. Yeah, there is monkeys in the show. A monkey in the show who also starred in The Fabelmans and George of the Jungle, as I came to learn. So this show, Bad Monkey, is created by Bill Lawrence. Can anyone name some of the Bill Lawrence's greatest hits? shows?
Ranking, Ted Lasso,
Yeah.
Scrubs, Cougar Town.
Wow.
This dude knows how to make a show.
Accomplished.
This guy hits it out of the park. So I would say Bad Monkey. I love it immediately because it's all Vince Vaughn. His character is Andrew Yancey. I guess the author is really good at kind of making Florida Keys stuff. He's from Florida, so it's very entrenched in Florida and these mysteries that he does. This is a murder mystery. I will say, like the first couple episodes, you're like, okay. And then at the end of I think the third episode, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it
Really?
now. All right, I get
So
it
it's
now.
a drama. It's
Yeah.
a drama. And
So-
where
It's
do
a
they get the title?
dramedy. Yeah,
I think it's like a dark comedy.
carries it really
Comedy.
well.
I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure why it's called Bad Monkey. I mean, there is a monkey in it, but it's not like it's very
Bad.
yeah. Well, he's not even bad. I mean, he's a cute monkey. He shows up every now and then.
But
But,
that's the point. Like he and Neville, who were the counterpoints, they mirrored each other in the show. Vince Vaughn's character and the character in Neville, I don't know the actor's name. Their characters mirror each other throughout, and they're considered the bad monkeys of their social circle.
Oh,
and by the end, you realize that these bad monkeys are just good-hearted people who are trying to, they may not always get it right, but they're trying to.
What is a bad monkey?
The monkey on the show is the monkey on the show is sort of like he said, it's a sweet monkey, but they keep calling it a bad monkey because it gets mischievous. Like these two characters. So there's just
bad monkey, like that. Like bad monkey, like that.
I mean, I love mixed thing. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have drawn that, but I'm not deep like that, so I don't know. I was just excited that there was a lot of Tom Petty songs in this.
And they used them well.
Yeah, a lot of covers. I think there was maybe a couple where it was actually Tom Petty, but most of them were covers. I guess Bill Lawrence is a huge Tom Petty fan. Not that, but a Florida show is it should be Tom Petty, right? He's Florida. Yeah. And so, but Bill Lawrence, I guess Cougar Town, every episode was a Tom Petty song name, I guess.
Probably. He's a big fan of it.
Yeah, so he's a big fan. So I will say, the cast itself, while Vince Vaughn is just amazing. Rob Delaney's in this, and he is great. Meredith Hagner plays Rob Delaney's wife, Eve Stripling. Insanely awesome. She's great. There's it sort of mixes with the island, sort of like what do you say, like voodoo magic type stuff, and like Jodie Turner Smith. She's the dragon queen, and she's the protector of the island. And I think the MVP, besides Crystal the monkey, which plays Driggs, the actual monkey, is Tom Nowicki, he plays Vince Vaughn's father in it as well, but he's also the narrator of the show. So the whole show that's
Scott Glenn plays him.
I got confused. Well,
Scott Glenn plays Tom Nowicki plays the captain.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay. For some reason, I thought they were the same person.
But there's dragons on this show?
No.
It's a murder mystery show.
Wait, so
there's a lot to it.
I'm confused because they didn't have Scott Glenn in the top cast here on the IMDb as I was looking at it. But you're right. Anyway, but the narrator is so funny. The funniest part about the show is the recaps at the beginning of episode 2 through 10, where they make fun of doing recaps and make fun of us for needing recaps. Like, didn't you just watch this? All right, here we go. Funny. And I was like, it's really, really funny, but it makes you watch it, which is probably what they're going for. Alex Moffat from Saturday Night Live plays kind of the neighbor who owns this horrible house, and there's a funny kind of back and forth. Michelle Monaghan plays an ex-girlfriend, Bonnie Witt. She's insane. John Oritz plays Yancey's partner, and then Natalie Martinez plays Dr. Rosa, Vince Vaughn's love interest, and one of the key players in the show. The whole idea of the show is that Andrew Yancey, Vince Vaughn, he is a detective, but he's lost his detective rank and stumbles onto this murder mystery, or an arm shows up, and so he's told to just ignore it and go away, but something tells him there's more to the story than this. So he wants to get his job back. And so he hilariously they make him rate restaurants or investigate health inspector. And like, and so of course he doesn't let it go. And then it's the whole thing. And it's one of those things, like after the third episode, you kind of know everything. And it becomes this like just amazing story and character study, I think, throughout the whole thing, as everyone involved starts to understand the mystery and what's happening and how everything's connected. Our friend from Scrubs, why am I blanking on his name?
Zach
Braff, thank you. Has a role in this too. He's great. He's great in this as well. So I definitely recommend checking it out. It's funny, like some people are like, I don't know, if you don't like Vince Vaughn, maybe it's not for you. But if you're like a Vince Vaughn person, which I don't see why you wouldn't be, because he's so hilarious. Then you're gonna enjoy this show tremendously. There was a couple times where they did stuff where I'm like, all right, that was just dumb. They're smarter than what's happening here, so they could screw up the plot a little bit to extend it out. But I could relax that because it was so deep into the show. But I totally recommend it. Every character I think is interesting. All the actors are interesting. It definitely keeps your attention the whole time. So.
Cool.
Agreed.
I think it's
All
great.
right. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm definitely going to watch it.
What's it on?
Apple.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it. I have like just a tiny blind spot of like things I'd never even know about.
Oh, that's why you don't know Slow Horses, also on Apple.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
I think it just
got
got renewed for a 6th season. And I finished the first season. Gary Oldman is the star. You kind of almost forget it's Gary Oldman.
Really? Yeah, he could be anybody.
Yeah.
He transforms.
I guess it's based on a series of books, and each season is about 6 episodes and adapts one of the books. And so I guess there's about 9 books or something like that. And so it's really good. It's really if you want to jump into a really good show, Bad Monkey and Slow Horses. So that's that.
Cool.
All right. What do we got?
No dragons. There's no dragons on it. But there's a dragon queen.
The dragon
queen.
She
is the dragon queen. Yeah.
She's the dragon queen. There is dragons in Caddo Lake. This is a story about dragons in a lake.
Caddo Lake. Here we go. Yeah. So I look around all the streaming services all the time, looking for just something to fill the silence that is the majority of my life. And I came across this thing, and I was like, Caddo Lake. I saw Dylan O'Brien, and I'm like, maybe one of the Maze Runners good, 2 of the Maze Runners fine. Skip past it. Then I went back up to it, and then I saw it had the Blinding Light production company, which is M. Night Shyamalan's production. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a Shyamalan film. All right. Because then I remembered that he's also Miles in The Teen Wolf, right? Dylan O'Brien, America's Sweetheart. So I put this thing on. It's written and directed by Logan George and Celine Held. And they have done a lot of indie work as far as their own stuff, but they also directed a couple episodes of Dark Matter and Servant, which I think is also on Apple TV. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that either. And it stars, once again, Dylan O'Brien, who I like for the most part. I can't find a reason to not like him. It also has Carolyn Falk, who has been in Just This and a couple of the little indie things that the 2 directors have created. And Eliza Scanlon, who you might know from Little Women or Sharp Objects. She was also in The Devil All the Time. Great upcoming actors. So I put this on, and the first shot that catches you is pretty jarring. It's Dylan O'Brien and this woman, and they're like just drowning, like they're underwater, and she's seizing up, and there's blood coming out of her eyes and her mouth. And I'm like, what is this? It turns out Dylan O'Brien is just this guy who works in the Louisiana swamps, and he just goes through the swamp and picks up garbage as it's floating around. Because apparently, because of this dam that's in Caddo Lake, sometimes the dam is under construction, and it causes the water levels to go down, which causes random just garbage to flood, and they have to go pick this up. As he's walking around looking for this garbage, he kind of gets to a part where his ears kind of bleed, and the sounds are a little jarring, and his hand starts twitching. And his mom actually died from a seizure while underwater because her ears were bleeding and she had the seizure. So he kind of gets a little weird feeling. On his way out, he finds this necklace that has a lot of meaning to him. And if you are keen-eyed, as I am not until I watched it the second time, you'll find out that the woman in the very first scene had the same necklace on, which is his mom. And that's interesting to me. So I'm like, why is his mom's necklace in the dirt swamps of Louisiana? So as you go along, it also side cuts. So you have 2 stories going on. You have Dylan O'Brien and his girlfriend and his trauma with his mom. And then you see the other actors, and they're kind of building this little family. It is the sister from 6 Feet Under. If anybody's seen that show, she's the mom of this little family. And the little daughter goes missing. And she kind of just goes off on a little bayou boat every once in a while. And she comes back one time and she's got this moth, and this moth is a prehistoric moth. It hasn't been around for millions of years. They don't know why this moth is here, but the little girl has it. One night she goes missing and everyone's looking for her. And then her older sister kind of goes through this weird warped area when the water's low. Turns out this is kind of like a time loop thing where if you go through this thing, you can kind of pop out at random times throughout like the world because of what this dam has caused. And since this dam was built in 1952, it caused the waters to go down so low that some kind of weird mystical portal area shows up once the water is low enough. So then you start realizing that maybe these two timelines are not at the same time. And I'm not going to give away the ending, but it is a lot of that. You find out why the mom had her seizures at certain times. You find out certain things about this dam. And it is a really interesting and unfolding mystery that most times when it comes to like time loopy stuff, I'm like, oh God, I start doing the math and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. This one, mostly because of how powerful Dylan O'Brien's performance is, I kept really just paying attention and really getting sucked into it. It's only like an hour and a half long, so it's not a long movie. It sums it up pretty well at the end. And at the end, you're like, okay, well, there's no real loose ends. I understand what I'm doing here. It was an enjoyable watch. It has just enough sprinkle of M. Night on it that you has that suspense. It has those nice scoping wide views. It has
the scenery is fantastic. I mean, the scenery is unlike anything I've ever seen in a movie, really.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I did. The swamps of Louisiana. At first I thought it was like the Everglades, but it's not Florida, it's Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well, I did watch it. I have to say, Zach, you make it sound a lot better than I think it was.
Really? Oh, I
liked it. No, I liked it, but you have a dynamite description.
Dylan O'Brien is the one who plays Dan Aykroyd in Saturday Night.
Yeah, I thought watching Dylan and his just obsession with finding out why his mom is this and why this necklace is around. I thought that he was so captivating that I was like, I'm interested. He's got to figure this thing out. His mom, they got to solve this mystery. And the rest of it was just kind of unfolding, and you could see some of it, and then you're like, okay, I understand what's going on now. But the Dylan O'Brien stuff, I'm like, well, how's he gonna get home? Like, how's this gonna happen?
I liked the actress who played the older sister too. She was really good.
Yeah, that was Eliza Scanlon. Great actor. Yeah, and
great actress.
Yeah, the younger girl, she did a great job too. Everyone in it was really good. Like even the dad, who's the pastor. I'm like, I believe these people are interesting, fleshed out characters. And I wouldn't say it wasn't the most powerful or the best watch that I've seen. It caught me off guard because I wasn't even going to watch it if it wasn't for M. Night's name on it. And because of that, I went into it with a certain level of expectation, and I was not let down at the end of it.
I do feel the same as that in terms of I just stumbled upon it and I was shocked I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah,
because it was good enough to have had a release. I don't know if it was or not, but it was definitely good enough.
Yeah, it's a Max original. It just popped up like maybe 7 days ago, and I agree. It was worth a theatrical release. It wouldn't have done well in the theater, so I can see why it moved to streaming. But as far as just a put on and fall into a mystery, you're like, okay, this is better than most content that just gets put out.
Well, and you could see the production value in it. I mean, there was money in this movie.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful. Everything is shot on location. They did a really good job of the timelines that you are in. They did a good job of making that world seem like a real fleshed out world of that time. And then you start doing like that Futurama math. You're like, well, if this person's here, then wait, who does that make? Okay, wait a minute. Is there incest going on? Which there's not. They did a very good job of plotting that out. No, I think it's a fun, quick watch. Check it out.
Sweet. All right.
Please. I got to win this week. I try every week to win this show, and I will
check it out.
You always win. You're always good.
Told me on it. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. Does everyone get old? Does everyone get old at the end?
No.
Oh, does one of the guys have bones like glass?
Maybe.
Zach, do you think it might give something away to tell people it's a time portal or not? Like, I don't think it's giving anything away. In fact, I think it's going to make people watch it better. It's easier to watch if you know.
Yeah, I think
that it's confusing for a good 10 minutes. I didn't know what was happening.
No, I agree.
I'm more interested than when you said there were dragons.
If there's dragons, I'll definitely watch it.
We definitely need more dragons.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think if I knew going into it, or someone's like, "Hey, there's this weird
I
time
want
portal
this
movie
one.
with Dylan O'Brien," I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna check this out." But just
Right.
stumbling upon it and not even knowing, be like, "Wait, are they doing this?" And then
I know.
there's like a crocodile that's like sliced perfectly in half, and you're like, "Well,
That
that's
was neat.
weird. That's cool. How does that happen?"
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, and I was like, "All right, I'm in." And Dylan O'Brien,
Alligator.
really top notch. He did a great job.
It was an alligator. I would like to share one small piece of information. Are you ready, Jeff?
I'm ready.
There are no alligators in Australia, and there are no crocodiles in the United States. You're welcome.
All right. I think you can tell by how long their mouth is.
I think
Shut
it's
the
how
fuck up,
pointed.
Jeff. I know what I'm saying.
I think how it's pointed at the end, right?
Right.
Wait, there's no alligators in the United States.
No, there's no crocodiles in the United States.
Huh. Because I live in South Carolina, and there's a lot of very large lizards, and I yell at them and call them. I'm like, "Hey, croc, get out of here!" But
that's not necessarily true.
No, that is exactly true, Mick. I say that every day.
Do you see them later, or do you see them in a while?
I'm leaving this show.
Depending on which one.
How dare you?
Mick knows. Mick knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you're right. I do see them after a while. You're right.
All right. Well, on that note, Mick, say goodnight. Remind everyone about the Scene Snobs.
Go check out the Scene Snobs. We are doing some really fun things. We're getting in depth about movies and more. We'd love to have you right now. If you join up on our Patreon for your paid tiers, we're running a giveaway that we're going to be rattling off on October 31st. And you have a chance to win a Beetlejuice popcorn bucket or a Beetlejuice souvenir cup. So join up there.
That's so
All right. Christine, do your thing.
Hey, you guys, I have a couple of podcasts. My Life in 3 Songs is exclusively on Spotify. That's the one I'm really proud of. I talk to comedians about the 3 songs in their life that have impacted them. My Life in 3 Songs. And I also have a show called Storyworthy. Check out the Storyworthy podcast. Thank you.
Going on 15 years, Storyworthy. Christine is OG. Zach.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, don't worry about me. Get over to Scene Snobs and win those friggin' popcorn buckets. That guy puts in the time and the effort. And if I don't win it, one of you turds better win it. So get out there. Or sign up under my name and give it to me anyway. And just say, you deserve this. I have popcorn buckets. I collect those things.
Sweet.
Oh, if I win, I'll give it to you.
You better. I'll hold you to that. It's recorded.
I will. It's yours. Consider it yours. Check out my podcast, Classic Conversations, going on its 100th year. No, it's okay. But I do. Adrian Smed is my guest this week. We go deep into Grease 2. I was really excited to do that. So that's super fun. So, all right, everyone. All right, we will see you next week. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
No dragons. I'm not watching, genuinely. I only watch dragon stuff from now on. Or crocodile.